It is 4:30. We will go ahead and begin this meeting of the Kokomo City Board of Zoning Appeals. This is a special meeting today on Wednesday, March 23rd of 2022. I would ask that if you have a cell phone, be sure to silence that. And then we'll go ahead and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, thank you all for making it to this specially called meeting. We do have one case on the agenda, case P02-SE-22.
Yes, petition of Paul Wyman requesting a special exception for section 3.31 for a storage facility in a C2 zone. This is at 200 Southway Boulevard. And Mr. Wyman's here to present the case.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion on this case?
I move that we approve case number P02-SE-22 and adopt the findings of the petitioner as those of the board and make those findings part of the record.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Have any board members had any ex parte communication on this case? Okay. All right, Mr. Wyman, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Paul Wyman, 1533 West Lincoln Road, Kokomo, Indiana. First, let me just say thank you to each of you for the opportunity for the special meeting this evening. I know you're all volunteers, and just taking time out to be here tonight means a lot to us. The reason that we needed a special meeting tonight, just so if I could share that with you, we've been working on this project out there now for a handful of months, going through due diligence, feasibility, and the inventory and the items that'll be needed to create these indoor storage units. If we don't sign by the end of this week, then we will be caught up in a supply chain issue, and it could push the projects off for 6 to 12 months. And so that's why we asked Mr. Sheeline if there would be an opportunity to have it heard so that we could address this vacant building in our community. So thank you all for accommodating that this evening.
Thank you.
And so what we have here, as you guys know, a vacant former marsh space, about 44,000 square feet on the south side of town. It's been vacant now for probably 3+ years, maybe even longer. As you guys know, vacant facilities like that draw attention from the standpoint of theft and or graffiti and just different things like that. And that building, unfortunately, has had its fair share with it being vacant like that. And so Mr. Johnson and the owners have come to an agreement to do an indoor storage facility. And there'll be about 300 or so units internally there. It'll all be indoors. And so from the exterior, the building will continue to look the same with the exception of changing out marsh signage for, indoor storage signage. But it'll be a very well-kept, beautiful facility, very easy access for individuals and families that will be utilizing storage. As you guys might know, the demand for storage is just off the charts right now. And some of that has to do with the housing shortage that we're experiencing and people not being able to find homes or move up to bigger homes, and they need a place to store things. And another interesting thing that's created some of this demand in storage is the amount of stimulus money that's been put into the economy in the last few years, direct payments to families that have gone out and bought things, which is what the stimulus money was supposed to do. And we've accumulated more things, and so people need storage. And so that's the request tonight, is to get the special exception so that we could do an indoor storage facility here at this location.
Okay, thank you. Any questions at this point from the board?
Is the dollar store going to stay there?
Yes, so Family Dollar is the anchor on the corner, and then this will take care of the remainder of the facility. And so there'll be no more vacant square footage in the entire Marsh building.
Any other questions at this point? All right, do you want to go ahead and read your findings of fact while you're there?
Sure. So the proposal will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. That's accurate. This indoor storage facility will serve families in our community. It will bring back to life a vacant 42,000 square feet on the south side of town. B, the requirements and development standards for the requested use as prescribed by the zoning ordinance will be met. The buildings meet the minimum requirements from the front and side setback requirements on the zoning district. And then all requirements of the zoning ordinance will be met. We'll make sure that we'll work closely with Mr. Sheline as we move forward on the project. Item C, the granting of the exception will not subvert the general purposes served by the zoning ordinance and will not be permanently injure the other property or uses in the same district or vicinity. And this project is filling 42,000 square feet of space that have been vacant for several years, and there will actually be less traffic than when it was a Marsh supermarket. And then D, the proposed use will be consistent with the character of the district they're in and the spirit of the intent of the zoning ordinance and the Kokomo Comprehensive Plan. And there will be no alteration to the parking lot, and the improvements will be all to the interior of the facility.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sheline, the staff findings?
Yeah, staff findings for case PO 2-SC-22, the proposal will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The proposed facility will include interior renovations of the existing building in order to convert it into 320 storage units. There are no safety hazards associated with the created plans for the property. The requirements and development standards for the requested use as prescribed by this zoning ordinance will be met. The buildings meet the minimum requirements for front and side setback requirements in the zoning district. The existing building meets most development standards and is legally non-conforming to others. There is plenty of existing parking to be used for the facility. The granting of the exception will not subvert the general purposes served by the zoning ordinance and will not permanently injure other property or uses in the same district and vicinity. Granting this special exception for a storage facility will not have an impact on the surrounding properties or their uses. The self-storage aspect of the property will be fully contained inside the building. The renovation investment of around $700,000 will have a positive impact on property values. The proposed use will be consistent with the character of the district therein, the spirit and intent of this zoning ordinance, and the Kokomo Comprehensive Plan. The City of Kokomo Comprehensive Plan calls for this area to be allocated for general commercial uses. The property in question is located in a densely commercial area along a busy corridor with some adjacent residential properties. This mix of commercial and residential uses fit well with the petitioner's plan to open a self-storage facility.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sheline, is this pretty much the same idea as we had a case before us not long ago with the old Kmart building on Nixon, pretty much?
Specifically, yeah, the Kmart, the difference is the Kmart is building a building on the parking lot for outdoor storage as well.
Right.
Well, this will all be fully self-contained inside the building.
Okay.
Mr. Ryan, what size, you know what size units you'll have inside that building?
Yeah, there'll be a mixture in there. There'll be your 10 by 10s and then larger from there. Yep.
Will the entrance to come in and out be the same as what is currently with the Marsh with the two? Are they gonna change the entrance?
Yeah, so they'll use the existing entrances, and then they're probably going to add one more door on the side of the building, and they may reconfigure one of the doors that's on the front of the building, but pretty much the same.
I'm assuming there will be no deli or bakery.
That's a safe assumption, yes.
I can always.
Unfortunately, because there's some things in there that I miss, I'm not going to lie.
Any other questions from the board? Anyone from the audience wishing to be heard? Okay. Mr. Sheline, anything to add?
No, I don't.
All right. Mr. Wyman, anything to add? Okay. Well, hearing no questions, we do have a motion and a second for the approval of case P 02-SE-22. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, congratulations. Thank you all very much. You're welcome. Any other business to be brought before the board?
I have no other business tonight, Mr. President.
All right, well, I would like to offer in absentia our condolences to our counselor, TJ Rethlick, on the loss of his grandmother. And, other than that, I have no other business.
And TJ also has COVID, so he's a double whammy.
Oh,
I don't know if we're still on the record, but your rendition of "O Canada" and the Star Spangled Banner the other day at the Bobcat game was off the charts.
I think that was my first time singing "O Canada."
Well, I just thought it was so cool. I mean, here we are in Kokomo, we have a team in from Canada, we got to hear both national anthems and everybody. It was just awesome, and you were the perfect person to do that, so thank you.
Thank you. All right, if there's no other business, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll
I'll make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
All right, anyone opposed to that? All in favor?
Uh-huh.
I appreciate everybody taking the time to
Yeah,
do this
thank you.
special meeting.